I have had the absolute pleasure of being part of the Toastmasters International program for the last 8 years, but from time to time, I hear people say things about Toastmasters and they are simply untrue. So in today's video, I am going to dispel 4 myths about the Toastmasters program. What's going on, everyone? My name is Wade Patterson, and I am passionate about impactful communication. And if that's something you're hoping to learn more about, how to be a great communicator, consider subscribing to my channel. So let's dive into these 4 myths that people have about the Toastmasters program. And the first myth that people have is that every club is the same. I've had the opportunity to attend a few different Toastmasters clubs, and I can tell you from the agenda to the meeting length to the style of the clubs, there are many different variables that makes each club unique. So shop around the different Toastmasters clubs which may be available to you. A huge myth about Toastmasters is that it only helps you improve your speaking skills. Once you go to a few Toastmasters meetings, you start to realize that the first half of the meeting is all about prepared speeches. But the second half of the meeting is much more focused on evaluations. And guess what? In order to give a great evaluation, you have to be a very good listener. Beyond improving your listening skills, Toastmasters also has pathways, and some of those paths or assignments within paths focus on leadership. And even the very structure of a Toastmasters club has various leadership positions. Things like the VP of Education, or the president of the club, or the secretary, or the sergeant at arms. These are all leadership positions that allow a club to be successful. So if you're wanting to improve listening skills, leadership skills, or of course, speaking skills themselves, Toastmasters is a great choice for you. Another common myth about the Toastmasters program is that you have to speak at your first meeting. Now, I want to encourage you, or perhaps challenge you, if you are going to a brand new club, be prepared to introduce yourself. If that's not asking too much, be prepared to give a couple of words of why you're there, what you're interested in achieving, and maybe just a really brief introduction about yourself. But it's not necessary. If you're someone who's absolutely frightened about the thought of public speaking and you simply just want to attend and be a fly on the wall, you can tell whoever it is at the Toastmasters Club when you come into the meeting, let them know. Just say, you know what, I'd be more comfortable today being an observer rather than speaking myself. Toastmasters will be incredibly understanding. After all, once upon a time, they were in your shoes and they were new attendees to the club as well. And some people weren't comfortable with that either. So if you want to go to Toastmasters, but you absolutely don't want to be put on the spot, that's okay. However, like I said, going back to that initial challenge, if you can, be prepared to say a couple things of why you're there, because the club will benefit. They'll learn a little bit more about you, and that may help you build those relationships after the meeting. Perhaps the biggest myth about Toastmasters is that it's something you can complete or graduate or be finished with after you've done it for a certain period of time. I've had many people say to me, oh yeah, I did Toastmasters like 10 years ago. It was a good experience, but I've done it. And to me, it's such a crazy thought. And I always use the example, that's like somebody saying, oh yeah, I worked out 10 years ago. I went to a gym, I had a gym pass. I have already done that. It was a great experience, but I've done it. I'm guessing if that's the case, that person would not be in very good shape still if they haven't worked out in 10 years. You lose that muscle memory, you lose that cardio ability because exercise requires you to do it on a repeated basis over time. And I would strongly bring this correlation to public speaking as well, that these are skills that you have to keep sharp. If you want to be a great speaker in front of a crowd, you need to have that repetition. You need to practice on a regular basis. And if you don't, you can probably still get by, but your skill is not going to be at the same level as if you went and attended those clubs on a regular basis. To recap the 4 myths that many people have about Toastmasters that are simply not true. Myth number 1, not every club is the same. Each club has its own flavor, and if you have the ability, please shop around and choose the best one. Myth number 2, it only helps with public speaking skills. Simply untrue. Of course it helps with that, but it also helps with your listening skills through things like evaluation. One I didn't even mention earlier is your ability for impromptu speaking or getting questions on the spot through something called table topics. And it also helps you build leadership skills through various pathways modules, but also through opportunities to be part of the executive within your own club. The third myth is that you don't have to speak at your first meeting if you're not comfortable doing so. You can bow out. Nobody's going to get mad. Nobody's going to kick you out. But the little bonus challenge is I encourage you to try to say a few words, at least to introduce yourself. I think it's going to make for a better, more comfortable experience for you attending your first meeting. And the final myth that people have about Toastmasters is that it's something you can be done with. You can go for a year and you're perfectly fine for the rest of your life. And the truth is, you may accomplish a few things, you may grow a skill set, but if you want to be a really strong public speaker, Toastmasters, my friends, is a lifelong endeavor, or at least it could be. I know many people who have become DTMs, Distinguished Toastmasters, and repeated that process time and time again. And that is the beauty about Toastmasters. It's something we can continually do. We can continually grow within the program, and that's a great thing. I hope you enjoyed this video on some of the myths about Toastmasters. Did I miss any? Let me know in the comments. Also, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Every subscription really helps me put out this type of content. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next video. People are more scared of public speaking than they are of dying. Is it just me, or is that wrong? Hey everyone, my name is Wade Patterson, and I am passionate about impactful communication. My YouTube channel has helped hundreds of thousands of people improve their public speaking skills, and I am thrilled to release my first ever course, which has taken my decade of learning about how to become a better public speaker and boiled it down to this theme of mastering the 5 essentials of public speaking. I know for a fact that if you can dial in these 5 elements and perfect them, you are going to be a phenomenal public speaker, head and shoulders above the rest, just by being aware of these things. By taking the time to digest the information in this course, practice it, and then put it to action through your speeches, you are going to become a better public speaker. As a bonus in this course, I sit down with the world's greatest freestyle rapper, Harry Mack, and one of the greatest keynote speakers in the world, Sean Kanungo, and I get their tips firsthand of what makes them incredible at what they do. If you agree that public speaking definitely should not be scarier than dying, sign up for my course. You won't regret it.